So I don't know if you remember, in an earlier video I talked about how budding uncut 8 by 2 by 4s, long 8-foot long 2 by 4s, made my dimensions a little bit too big. Well, I figured out where that's going to impact me, and that is in my plans to use two 12-foot 2 by 6s to run along the center of my roof line. So I ended up with about almost 2-inch, like 1 3/4 inch difference if these were to be budded together. So you got this hole here now, which is less than ideal. It's going to impact my geometry when I'm planning the angle pieces for just this section. It'll be 1 or 2 cuts different. That's okay. I got a 2 by 3 running along what will be the bottom, and then these boards here in the middle that run from here to here, those are from a different project, just some treated decking that I put in there. So once everything's up and supported, there will be a lot more to hold this together, but this will hopefully hold it long enough for me to get the single 24 feet 1 3/4 inch piece of wood up on top of there. So wish me luck. All right, so you saw the first 2 by 6 that I got broke. I had to go to the hardware store, just went local, picked up a new one, rebuilt the whole beam. I got a helper this time to help me get the beam up there. Definitely heavier than I anticipated. I do have a plan. Got the frames in place, ended up having to backtrack a little bit. I'll show you what I did. So I pre-built these frames here, put them up on the structure, and then put half of the main runner 2 by 6 in place. Like you can see, I separated there, and I'll lock it back together later. I need to take the clamps down, and then I'm going to put a whole bunch more structural stuff up there to lock it all together. But it's coming along, and I'm going to call it a night. Okay, so it's the next day. I've got all of the roof started. I got the main beam in place. Had a little bit of help. I got some runners on top of the trailer to spread out the load, and actually walked on that. That made this side over here a lot easier. I'm actually really glad that I put that beam together on the ground, because that one, I found a broken piece, or a bad piece with that not going all the way through, but also the lines were already in place, so putting it back together took nothing. I don't think I'm going to put the 2 by 3 underneath. I do want to put more truss, I think is the word, stuff in on the roof, but I don't have to do that now. I am also going to get some wire so I can put some turnbuckles in it and brace the hell out of this thing, because it still wiggles way more than I would like. Like these little triangles down here do a great job, but it needs way more than that. So I'm going to leave all the bracing in place. I'm going to move this bracing from this side to the other side, or put it in a more permanent way, just to tie everything together, take away some of the vibration, and then I'm going to start putting the shade cloth on. Got the shade cloth up, and so let's look at that. All right, shade cloth in place. I remember we looked at if you didn't see that video, I had a plan for this. I used the sun projection or shadow projection tool in SketchUp, so that's why it's actually off center. I think I'd actually like to move it down a little bit more so that the back of the trailer is covered a little bit better, but this works for now and should get me through the summer just fine. I'm gonna go through, I'm gonna put some more of these cross braces like this in a few places. I got a lot more stuff to do up here with more structure up there. Got to frame doors and windows. So there's gonna be more coming, but this is a big win. This means tomorrow when it's 85 degrees out here, I'll be able to get some work done in my office without the air conditioner having to work so hard. Let me know if you have any questions, comments, concerns. There's a lot of stuff I didn't put on camera. I do really like that ladder. I'm gonna put a link for that too. It's heavy. That's my biggest complaint, but it's nice to have a ladder that's very flexible and tall enough. So look for that. All right, I'm in my workshop. I'm gonna start making more of the truss supports. I'm gonna make a bunch of them. I am gonna go with fewer than I originally planned. We'll see how that works out, but I think it'll be strong enough, especially with all the bracing I'm gonna be putting in later. So the first step in making these is just cutting this off, which I've already done. I found this angle just by measuring these 2 points and connecting the dots, and then I put a piece of tape here to help me line it up so I can do other stuff and come back to it again and again. Step 2 is the other end of the board. I find this angle, which I recorded. I recorded this angle on my table with some pencil so that I can come back to it. I found this angle. First, I started with CAD. When I was building these, I had this end and this all coming up to make this triangle here, right? And I had them set up on sawhorses, and then I measured here to here, and I took a string, a mason line, pulled it across, and got those angles, after everything was screwed together, got those angles perfect, and marked them and cut them, and I've been using the bevel tool ever since. So we're going to use that, get our distance, and I'll show you the next step inside. Alright, so using the plans that I drew up in SketchUp, I measured from the angle down here, where it is at, way down there, all the way down to this point. Then I used my bevel that I showed you there, which I measured it in as, excuse me there, measured to this point. I measured it, it's about 37 degrees, if that matters to you guys. Then I measured in from there, messed up, erased it, measured in again, measured twice, cut once. 3.5 inches, and then this is a square down, and this is where the framing is going to sit when this little bird mouth is cut out. So I'm going to cut this out now with the jigsaw. And I got to make 12 of these. All right, I did some test fits. This is the first one I made right here. That one is okay, but the blade from my skill saw, jigsaw, whatever, is dull, and it's slow, and it's a little bit crooked. So I did a second one using the circular saw and then just finished it off with the jigsaw. That was much better. So that's going to be my new master. I'm going to use that. I fitted it. Everything checks out really nice. I'll use that to scribe all the other ones, get a total of 12, and I'm going to use a combination. I'll do them in sets, and I'll use a combination of the circular saw to start and then the scroll saw to finish, because I cannot find any sharp blades. Question for the people who are more experienced, not the people who are like framing hacks who just go in and do a job and take the money and run. I've met way too many of you guys. I want to know from the guys who know what they're doing and care about their work. How do these look? How accurate do you try to be for framing versus fine woodworking or something where people are going to see it really closely? So I have like, there's an 1/8 of an inch off right here, and I think this one underneath here kind of goes up less than 1/8 of an inch. The other ones are all very similar to this. Tell me how you guys do this in the comments or in a reply video. How accurate is your work? This is the plan for the trusses, extra trusses that I'm adding. I was originally going to put one in the middle and then split these and not have any vertical support. I'm getting cheap. It might come back to bite me, but I think it'll be okay. I can also add some supports, a diagonal support here to move that, to transfer this load from this brace here down into that vertical post, or this one over here, do it just like that post. So we'll see. I'm not worried about it. But right now, these are all 30 3/8 outside to outside. So if I do ever decide to come back and put any kind of a rigid panel on here It'll all be the same spacing from every one of these trusses. And then maybe I'll add some purlins down this way. I'm thinking I'm going to try X braces with wire that's pulled taut, but we'll see. So this is still a work in progress. Today I'm starting on the bracing for the framing. My goal is to use wire, 1/8 inch wire, to create some cross bracing through the roof structure that will help stiffen things up. Here's the before. And here's the after. Outside, I've put some of these in place. These are just little eye hooks with a snap on them to keep the wire in place. And let me show you what I'm doing here in the barn. In place already, and got them as close as possible. And then I got some eye hooks here on board that's clamped to my miter saw table's surface. It's down there. Made some different marks as I'm going through. I'm using ferrules and whatever these are called. They're about halfway adjusted so that I can let them out if I need to. I can tighten them up a little bit. If I really get stuck, I'll put a second one in place and shorten the wires here. But this is going to take, when they're cross braced and everything's tightened up evenly, it will take all the pressure that I need. I'll have links for this stuff. I got this all on the Jeff's website, and so you can check that out if you want to do the same kind of thing for this or any other project you're working on. Just so everyone knows, I will be linking a higher quality product in the description. These are garbage. I don't know how much that comes across on camera, but the after test is much stronger. It feels a lot more rigid. I'm gonna go through and get different hardware, heavier duty hardware, probably like a through bolt that has a ring on the end. I think that about wraps up this part of the build. When it gets closer to fall, I'll start looking at turning this into a greenhouse. So be sure to subscribe and check back for that. I'll add videos and updates if anything else comes up as well. So please do subscribe, and thanks for watching. Check the links in the description. Helps me to do projects like this. And let me know if you have any questions. Let me know if you're interested in plans. And let me know what other comments, mistakes, things that I've done wrong here. Tell me, talk to me. Comments help. Thank you. Bye. And of course, there's cleaning to do. I got to get the tools put away, the ladder put away, the blocks picked up. I'm probably going to get more anchors to put down around the foundation for tying stuff off, because once I have plastic on this, I won't be able to use the framing anymore. And it needs to be mowed and weed whacked. It's been a while. Thanks for watching.